Hi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jane Wangeshi, and I'm going to walk with you through a journey where we're going to engage in different topics that affect us, and topics that matter. Today I want to talk about a topic that interests me a lot: how to leverage on the digital space for monetization. And would you believe me if I told you that we are living in the best times in the history of mankind? That the playing fields have been leveled and anybody can succeed. Everyone can succeed and everyone should succeed, including you. I say that because I think we're living in times where the digital platform has really leveled a lot, and every one of us has been given a voice. Every one of us has been given a platform and an opportunity to become who they want to become, by the way. You know, when I grew up as a child, there are aspirations and desires that I had, but along the way, I think, life, I think along the way I was not able to realize some of those dreams and aspirations. But I think I now have an opportunity to dream again. I now have opportunity to continue realizing some of those dreams that I had. Why am I saying so? Because I think we've been given a platform where the middleman has been eliminated. You know, for example, if you're a singer and you want to launch your songs and you want them seen by people, gone are the days where you needed connections to get to the television or the radio stations. I think all of us have been given a platform and an arena where we can monetize, where we can sell, and where we can excel in the digital space. So let me talk about a few things that are going to put everything into perspective. Let's talk about disruptions first of all. We're living in times where we're coming from very hard times, economically, socially. We're just coming from very hard times. We just experienced the global economic crisis in 2008. And just when we thought that we had leveled up and we had gotten back to normal, came the COVID-19. And we saw what happened. We had very major lockdowns, major shutdowns. Planes were grounded, could not fly. And just when we thought that COVID had gone with the wind and the lockdowns were lifted, and we thought that we were back to our traditional setups, then came the US elections, the very recent US election that came with so many other major disruptions. The new executive order by President Trump are affecting us and are going to affect us. And so why am I basically sharing all this? Because I feel like our involvement in politics, by the way, and that's a topic for another day, and global politics, that is. I think even your own national politics matter a lot. And our involvement in the digital participation matter a lot. I say this because I think I'm also going to communicate, I'm going to be speaking to a special group of people who are very conservative. People who feel like their participation in the digital space does not matter, like they cannot monetize because they don't have the time to, maybe create content. But I think the reason as to why we have that kind of mindset is because for the longest time we think that for you to monetize you have to create content, you have to have following in Facebook or something. And so our idea of monetization is not clear. And so I want to ask us a question, and I want you to think and ask yourself, what is your involvement in the digital platform? Are you a consumer or are you a monetizer? By the way, you have to choose. You can only be one of the two. If you're not monetizing from the digital platform, then you're a consumer. And if you're a consumer, what does that mean? That you're empowering others at your own detriment. Is it wrong to empower others? Absolutely not. By the way, I'm not out here to tell you to go and unsubscribe or unfollow people. No. But I'm just out here to ask you, where do you see yourself in the future? Where do you see the world headed in the future? With the many changes, the many disruptions that are happening. We're living in times where you don't know what will happen next. Just when you think you're having a breather from one thing, boom, comes another. And I think things are not going to slow down. Things are not going to get easier. But I think we're going to level up. The people who are going to succeed are the people who are going to embrace and adapt to the change. Are the people who are going to level up and realize that they are also expected to play in the play fields. Because if it's a global village, then you have to participate in the village. You have to participate in the trends. Right now more than ever, we are seeing more layoffs. When COVID hit, we saw layoffs and we understood. COVID hit and there were major close downs of jobs. And we thought maybe that was expected. But right now, we are seeing more layoffs and you're wondering why. And if you're not sensitive enough, you will not be sensitive to realize that that could be happening in other nations and in other places and to other people. And you could not be, maybe you might not be sensitive enough to realize that it could happen to you. I'm not here to prophesy that you're going to lose your job. No. But I'm just here to challenge you that you need to be intentional about how you approach the digital platform. I think we all have a responsibility, a personal, intentional, deliberate responsibility of getting involved in the digital platforms. And by getting involved, this is what I mean, of empowering ourselves. For example, are you in the professional sector and you're in the marketplace working? Are you acquainting yourself with some of the emerging trends? I recently saw a company that had just laid off some of its employees. I re-advertised some of those positions, and I was really interested to understand why would they lay off employees and start re-advertising for employment. And so I decided to go check and look at some of the qualifications that they were looking for. And one major thread that ran through all the job advertisement they had put out was you need to be able to navigate your way through emerging trends. By the way, the people, for the longest time we've thought that the people who are at an advantage are the people who are in the tech industry, and I don't think they're any better, because I don't think the syllabus has been updated to integrate all the innovations, the AI and the API. I think the evolution and the innovations are still continuing, and so there's a call to all of us to continue updating ourselves, to continue upskilling ourselves. So are you in different professions? Are you in the marketplace? Are you an accountant? Are you keeping up with the financial trends? We were operating in a cash society. We are now in a cashless society. We were operating in a place where we used to earn in one currency. Money is now being exchanged globally. So what are some of the trends? If at all you're going to perform accounting duties for someone who's in a different countries, what are some of the CRM tools that you need to update yourself with? And you could be working and you think that you do not need to update to upskill or update yourself. Let me tell you, this is a wake-up call to you. COVID proved to us that now more than ever, it is easier even to hire labor from other countries, even cheaper labor, by the way. Because when COVID hit, it hit and there came a birth of remote jobs. And we're living in season right now in 2025. We think that remote jobs are for a few people, remote jobs, people who make a lot of money online. But I think we're going to get into a season where working remotely is going to be a normal thing, and working remotely is going to be for everyone. Why? Because it's cheaper for employees, even for employers. Why? Because for employers, they do not even need to pay for an office space. They don't need to pay for your internet, and so it's going to be cheaper for them. For some employers, they will hire from countries where the labor maybe is much more cheaper. And so why am I here to challenge you? Are you there and you're working in different professions? Are you updating yourself with some of the emerging trends? You're in the customer service industry. What are some of the emerging trends? Gone are the days where you would just make a call to for example, let me use our own Safaricom. For those of us who use Safaricom and you've tried to call to talk to a customer agent, you will realize that it is now much more harder to get an agent. Every single system is automated. Every help that you want to get is automated. Why? Because companies are also saving up. And am I trying to say that that technology is going to render us jobless? No, that's what I'm not trying to say. I'm just trying to say that I think you have a personal responsibility to upskill. And so there it is. One way you can monetize and you can leverage on the digital platform is to upskill. your skills is to keep up with the emerging trends. And gone are the days where education was restricted to classrooms alone, where you needed 4 years to go and study a particular course. You just need a few days, a few months, and you just need to just check out online. There are so many courses online for you to go and upskill your skill. Why am I saying that? Because change is the only constant. If you do not change, change will change you, or you will be rendered obsolete, and we don't want that. And I also want to talk to the people who are doing business online. I mean, I've dwelt so much on the professions and challenged each one of us in different sectors, whatever sector you find, even in the education sector, by the way. For example, my own country, Kenya, we are having a lot of changes in the education sector. Why? Because look at the kind of children who are being born today. We are having very techie children growing up. Children as young as 11-year-olds are operating different social media accounts. So you find that even the education sector is changing rapidly. And so as a teacher, if you're still rigid and conservative about your involvement in understanding some of the emerging trend, in upskilling yourself, you're going to be irrelevant in the near future. And the future belongs to those who are coming up, And let me talk to the business community. You're there, you've been doing business for a long time, and your setup is just performing business traditionally. You go open your shop, wait for customers to come, and you've never thought of leveling up your business and taking it a notch higher, taking your business online, selling online. And as I was preparing to just come share this presentation, I just remembered a few people that I follow online. There's a particular lady who sells chapatis. She just makes chapatis and posts them on social media, and that's how she makes her sell. And I saw people comment on some of her status, and they'll tell her the reason as to why she's posting is because she's looking for husband. And I said, my God, how shallow-minded can people get? A woman is very strategic about selling her skills, about selling her products online, and she has a community, by the way. She sells chapatis, and someone has the guts to just come and insult her. Let me tell you, we're heading a season where if you're not careful about using the internet wisely, the internet is going to use you, and the people who are going to benefit from the little data that you think you have are the people who are doing real stuff online. So why am I here? What was the purpose of me creating this video? It was to challenge you to realize that we are heading a season where every one of us is going to be required to get involved intentionally. And by the way, whether you are getting involved or not, everything is going to catch up with you, and you're going to suffer financially. Let me give an example of one of the ways some of the things are catching up with us. We have Gmail, and I've been using Gmail for the longest time, and I thought I owned a Gmail account. Google recently reminded me that I own nothing. They started asking for subscription money, so you now have to pay for storage space. Isn't that Gmail is running out of storage? No, Gmail is not running out of storage. We're living in an era where it's so fertile. I mean, anyone who is sensitive enough to grasp what is happening and to just follow the wave and the trend of what is happening in the digital space is going to monetize. The ground is still fertile. And so Google decided that it's also their time to have a piece of their cake. So what are they asking for? They're asking for subscription money. And so, do I have a choice? No, I don't have a choice. I'm going to pay up. And I am paying up for the subscription money, because where I am at with Gmail, I'm not choosing it as a matter of luxury. It's a matter of necessity. So we are headed in a season where your involvement in the digital space is not going to be a matter of luxury anymore. We've just been logging in, having fun, sharing memes, sharing reels, and we think that the social media space is an entertainment app. But I think that the digital space is a highway for economic empowerment. Look at some of the people who are making major achievements just try to follow them silently and see what they're doing. There's a lady that I've been watching recently on Facebook. Her name is Raquel. She sells hair, and it's interesting because she always makes sure that for every comment she gets, a comment that maybe intrigues her, maybe an insult, she will come make a reel out of that comment, but she will ensure that she markets whatever hair she's selling. And I say to myself, what a way to market. And she's been trending, she's been selling and making sales. Whereas there's someone who thinks that they can just insult her. She will take your insult, make a reel out of it, and still sell her hair. So ask yourself, how are you involved in the digital space? Are you intentional about empowering yourself? How have you been using your smartphone? Is your smartphone smarter than you, or are you smarter than your phone? Is your internet using you, or are you using the internet well? Thank you so much for tuning in. Kindly subscribe to this channel as we grow together. Thank you.